Hi everybody, my name is Toasty and I'm a Plat 1 Mercy. I asked the Discord if you guys would be interested, and today I'm going to explain my thought process during one of my games. Let's go!
Guess they love me out there in this big crazy world.
So right away, one of the first things I do when I start a game is check who I'm with. I gotta see what other characters I have with me to decide who I'm going to pocket. My best choice here between Junk and Soldier 76 is clearly Soldier 76, so I already know going in that I'm going to spend most of my time with him. I also have to see who the other healer is. Right now we have an Ana on our team, and I know that Ana will mostly be on Sig, so I'll watch our Junkrat as well, but mostly I'll be on Soldier 76. Soldier is going up top here, so I want to make sure that I'm keeping an eye on my Junkrat as well down below. I want to stick close to Soldier, but I don't want to be too close, especially with this Reaper here. But it's not a problem for very long, because Soldier makes quick work of it. Here I am, making sure that they're doing okay with just the Ana. Now I can see our Junkrat a little better and I can keep with him. I do really need my Ana with me to make sure that my Sigma stays alive, but I don't want to abandon my Soldier completely, but I still get the res. And luckily our Soldier takes care of the Reaper pretty quickly. I do lose our Junkrat in the process, but that's okay. I don't want to be completely useless here, just waiting for someone to show up. So here in a second, I'm going to move up with our Sig, because Granny doesn't have sightlines on him right now. But fairly quickly, I end up back with our Soldier. I really have to make sure that this Reaper doesn't come up behind me and pick me off. Our Sig goes ahead and pops ult. There's that Reaper again. Luckily, I can trust our Granny pretty easily, and she can take care of me if I get hit a little bit. Here I start to panic a little bit, worried that the door is going to close, because I really want to be with our Soldier while he's ulting. He's really vulnerable in this state, so I want to make sure that I'm damage boosting him and healing him as well. He wants to go up top here, so I'll go ahead and go with him. Our Granny is really reliable, so I don't have to worry too much. This is the point in the game where I usually have trouble as Mercy. This like little divot here is really annoying. And I have to decide if I want to go up top with people or if I want to stay on point. They're pushing us back pretty far, so we got separated really quickly, and our Sig unfortunately dies up front because our Granny went down. I'm panicking a little bit here because I know that they're pushing in, and then Zarya ults.
My ultimate is ready. Symmetra revolting.
I'm letting everybody know that I have Valk ready and we can push with it. But I don't want to push without the rest of our team. Once again, I'm with Soldier and we're doing like a little song and dance here. Sig ults and I don't want him to get completely out of Granny's view, so I go to help him, which honestly was a really big mistake. I should have just stuck with my Soldier. Right now I'm really worried that our sim is going to break up our group. And unfortunately she does die. Now we're going in 4v5, which is always a mistake. I go ahead and pop Valk because we're down one, and I want to try to encourage everybody to go ahead and push without our sim. I'm also worried about our Sig in this little divot, which is really the bane of my existence. And we did keep everybody up for a little bit. I can hear our Reaper teleporting behind us. I know he's gonna ult me, but luckily everybody turns around pretty quick. I have a pretty good team here. I realized that I didn't really need to come down here, and I push up a little bit and try to go up top with everybody else. So right now I would usually stay with our soldier, but I do want to get our sim up while they're all distracted, and then I can run back to him. Unfortunately, Zarya did ult, so a lot of us died, but that's okay. We have a lot of time, so we can go ahead and reset. So now at this point we have a minute left, and I know I can usually build Valk in about a minute and 30 seconds, and I've got a little bit of time already. So I'm hoping that by the end of this fight, I'll get Valk. I take the teleporter here, because I think everybody is going to take the teleporter. But luckily Granny was with me. I think she would just put it there to get Sig in there so he could ult. I go to help our Sig a little bit because Granny is pushed up with the payload. But then I quickly abandon him and then loop around right back to him. And we go ahead and cap. I know Granny doesn't have a great view on our Sig right now because she's sticking with the payload, so I'm going to go ahead and help him out. He does play this corner a lot, and I realized that this soldier is up top, so he comes to pull me, and I get to stay with him. I'd much rather prefer being up top than down below. That way I can just jump down if I need to. I'm keeping an eye behind just in case. I realize they may need a little help from me. And I go ahead and pop Valk here. Our soldier is ulting, so I'm going to stick with him once again. At this point, I'm wondering if I used Valk a little bit early, and I'm a little worried about it, but it seems like everybody's staying pretty relatively high in health. I started to panic a little bit here, but they made quick work of him. Our soldier is really good. And we go ahead and cap, and that is the first round done. Once again, I'm trying to decide who I'm going to stick with, and likely I'll stay with Soldier. Symmetra's not very good for pocketing. I'm pretty sure that our grandma wanted me to switch off of Mercy so she could take it, but I looked at our healing and I still had better, so I didn't think I really needed to swap.
Fishcar has no place in mine.
Your work is to be admired. Form and function, working in harmony.
Form is vital to function.
Sometimes I like to take a look at the backgrounds in these games before the game starts, just because it's something that I never really get to look at.
Take your word for it.
And now I found our soldier. I know where he's gonna set up, right here up top, which I think is a really good position because people tend to come through this boxcar. People like dive heroes.
Attackers incoming.
They tend to go through this little train cart here.
Enemy in sight.
I want to stick close to our soldier, but not in the front line. I think he pulled forward to help our granny, which was a good idea. Our Symmetra is set up here on this little arch, which I think is a great position, especially since this Genji dropped in from the top. I'm not too worried about him diving on me with the sim turrets, but I still need to keep a lookout for him. Our soldier starts to, I think, tab out here, and it started to concern me a lot. There's a couple of times where it just seems like he tabs out, but I don't think pushing up with the Symmetra would do anything other than get me killed. So I stay with him anyway. So I can hear now that they have a monkey, and I know that he is going to stay on me. I wanted to try to get up in that second floor of the fire station, but I couldn't find anybody to Guardian Angel to get up there, so unfortunately I do die there.
I must return to my
Threat
post.
emerges.
On my way.
I call this the walk of shame. And without me, our soldier goes down. So I start to get a little bit nervous. I know that monkey is gonna jump right on top of me the second he sees me. And unfortunately, I think that's just too many down. I finally get up here, but then I go into this room to try to heal our granny. And it was clearly a mistake. I should have stayed with our Sig, but that's okay. We lose this pretty quickly. But I'd rather go ahead and lose it quickly and get set up for the second point. And right here you can see our sim is setting up. It looks like our soldier is tabbed out again. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't think he did this at all in the first round. But now I can go up top with them. And our sim comes up here with us as well. She teleports over, and I'm not really sure why, but she gets rid of her teleport. And if she hadn't, I could have stayed with her. Maybe it's because she didn't want people to know she was up there. So we're already down one for this fight, and Monkey's jumping us again. He uses his ult, and so does Kiriko. I'm just trying my best to keep everybody alive. I use Valkyr, which I do think was a mistake. I keep our soldier alive for a while, but we have a lot of time and a lot of space to make. And like I said earlier, I know it takes me about 1 minute and 30 seconds to build Valk again if things go the way that I want them to, so I'm not too worried about using it there.
Tactical visor activated.
He's using Visor, so I want to stick with him and monitor his health, but also remain damage boosting him. Right here, I try to help our junk, and unfortunately Soldier dies, but it's okay. I got a quick res out of it. And Granny had good sights on me here, so she healed me. I'm a little nervous about how far our Sig is pushing in, considering that our Granny is back on the point, but I can keep him alive. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that Sombra. And here I get stuck behind. I get worried that he's right behind me, but it's okay. I can go ahead and get the junk res. And we go ahead and hold. I try to keep in mind all of my entries and exits. Oh, for some reason my audio gets really funky here. I think it's the way that I'm capturing it, so please ignore it. It does go away here in a second. So sorry about that. I'm not sure where our soldier is right here, but I think he was once again tabbed out on the point. So I was staying with our junk a little bit. This room is really good for Junkrat. Small spaces are really good for him, so I was trying to boost him as well. I go ahead and use my Valk because I've got 1 minute and 30 seconds left. And luckily, Granny keeps me alive right here during Zarya's ult, and since I'm ulting, I was able to heal everybody else through it. So we got Zarya to waste their ult as well as Moira. I accidentally fucked up right there. I was trying to push back onto the ledge like I did earlier. But that's okay. I'm able to keep our Sig alive right here, I believe. Yeah, and then Granny gets back to him. No worries. Our Junkrat is really good about telling me when he needs healing. And I really like to use that hallway for a little bit of coverage when people don't see me. Our Junk once again died, and our soldier is tabbed out again, so I start to panic a little bit. It's here that I realized that we're probably not going to keep this point, and that it was okay to just go ahead and die and reset.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
I don't quit till the fight.
On my way. Aim to let your sword out.
I try really hard to keep our Junk alive, but Zarya uses her ult, which I thought was really strange. I think the enemy Zarya used her ults at very strange points. I think she was trying to keep us staggered, but I didn't think it really worked. We had a pretty good team, and we all stayed together really well. And our Junk switched to Mei here as well, which I think was a good swap.
Let me see what I can do.
I move up here with our Sig, getting a little bit worried that Granny can't take all the healing. And we lose our Mei, but I use our Sig as a human shield because his shield wasn't up, and I get the res on Mei. I can hear some cowboy boots. And I know our cowboy is circling around that little roundabout up there. We lose our Mei, and I didn't mean to jump in right here, but I did. So we started to pull back a little bit. I go ahead and use my Valk. We're getting to last fight. Moira tries to counter ult me.
Tactical visor activated.
But once again, our soldier is using his visor, so I'm damage boosting him. I get a little nervous about our Sig, but he's okay. He uses his ult. Now Sig is pushing in right here, and I wish that our whole team had pushed in a little bit, but that's okay. I go ahead and help our Sig out. Why not? And that is the game. Thank you so much for watching. I stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday over at twitch.tv/LittleMissToast, and you can catch the games live over there. If you're interested, I left a link to our Discord community in the description. If you want more content like this, let me know by commenting and subscribing. Sweet dreams!